Hey sports fans, and welcome to Sports Talking with Cam. I'm your host Cameron Gooseby, and today I'll be talking about my Christmas Day matchup for the second game of the Christmas Day matchups in the NBA. It's between Steph Curry and the Golden State Warriors. It's going to be against Giannis Antetokounmpo and the Milwaukee Bucks. Now these two teams will be looking to make some noise in the playoffs. I think the Warriors could be a playoff team, but will they make a deep run? I don't think so. They could be a first round and out. But with the Bucks, they could potentially go to the NBA Finals. But every year, it seems like there's always something getting in their way. Kawhi Leonard and the Raptors, they got in their way in 2019, and then last year, Jimmy Butler in the NBA bubble and the Miami Heat, they got in Giannis and the Bucks' way in the Eastern Conference semifinals, and they beat them in 5 games. It was not a really good showing for the Bucks, and I'm expecting them to bounce back this season. And I'm saying it's finals or bust, because if this team doesn't make the finals, then people won't look at them as a serious playoff contender. Now, breaking down the rosters first for the Golden State Warriors, you got Steph Curry, greatest shooter to ever touch a basketball. Someone who pulls up from the logo. He can shoot off the dribble with the three. He can drive to the rim, hit the mid-range jumper, of course. And when I tell you, like his form, his shooting form is just pretty. Has a high arc on his shooting form, and he can just play. He plays really well on the offensive side. Now on the defensive side, I'm not saying he's a liability on defense, but he's not someone who you would want to put on the perimeter. He's prone to getting baked on the perimeter, and it was proven in the 2016 NBA Finals. That was not a really good series for Steph Curry. I'm not saying he was an absolute choker in that series, but going up 3-1 and struggling in Game 7, it wasn't a good showing for Steph in that final series. And that was due to him guarding Kyrie Irving. I mean, Kyrie Irving outplayed him, and it really took a toll on him. Now next, normally we'll have Klay Thompson in here, but with Klay, he was, I believe, is the second greatest three-point shooter to ever play the game of basketball. He is someone provides three-point shooting, provides mid-range shooting, someone who can drive to the rim. He is someone the Golden State Warriors will miss, because he gives you that 25 points per game. Klay Thompson was like the beta dog next to the alpha dog in Steph Curry when it came to scoring. Well, without Durant, but Klay Thompson, this is going to be a really huge loss, because he also provided perimeter defense, something Steph Curry doesn't really do. And with Klay Thompson, he was someone who guarded the perimeter's best players. So he would be guarding Kobe Bryant. He would be guarding LeBron James. He would be guarding like a Kevin Durant. He would be guarding a James Harden. So, the list goes on. But as far as like perimeter defense, I think Klay was the ultimate key piece when it came to perimeter defense, because it was I'm not saying it was almost impossible, but he always gave the opposing offensive player a challenge when it came to matching up against Klay. Now next, we got Andrew Wiggins, who is a really good basketball player and everything like that, but he hasn't lived up to his potential. When he signed that contract in 2017 with the Minnesota Timberwolves, and when he did that, I think that's what destroyed him, because with him, $150 million only just to average 18 points, that's not going to cut it in the NBA. And that's why the Timberwolves traded him, because he was not showing what he could do on the court, like at his maximum level. If this was his maximum level and he promised that he was going to work hard for that contract, then he pretty much got robbed, and it was pretty much a it was pretty much a done deal in Minnesota. Now next we got Kelly Ubrey, who could drive the lane, he can hit the three ball, really good small forward. But if he just improves his defense just a slight bit, I think he would be a quality starter in this league for years to come. Next we got Draymond Green, who, a very good system player. In my opinion, he can get points, get rebounds, get assists, get steals, and get blocks. He's a stat stuffer when it comes to him being in the NBA. He is someone who is not spectacular. He's not spectacular on the scoring column, but with rebounding, getting those assists, getting blocks, doing all the little things on the court is what makes him great. And I think with him being in Steve Kerr's system, I think that's what makes him a great player. I'm not saying Draymond Green is overrated, but if he wasn't in Steve Kerr's system, I don't think he would be a how do you say it? I don't think he would be the same Draymond Green that we know. Now next we have Wiseman, he's the rookie of the Golden State Warriors. He shows a lot of promise. He's a lefty who can hit he can hit that 3-point shot. He can hit the mid range. He can play some defense, and he's a high flyer. He plays bully ball in the low post. He's someone who I think he's an exceptional talent. He's someone who can be an all-star in like 2 years. I think he shows that type of stuff, and I think the Golden State Warriors got a steal in the draft. Now next we got Kent Bazemore, solid shooting guard, someone who can shoot the three ball, hit hit mid-range jumpers, get into the paint. He is just he's an offensive stud. But as far as defensively goes, I feel like being a better on-ball defender with him would be the best thing to do. Because if he's a better on-ball defender, I think he could be a quality starter in this league. Now Brad Wanamaker, very solid point guard, backup point guard. He backed up Kemba Walker in Boston. He is someone who can also shoot the three ball pretty well. Someone who shot the mid range, and he can play in the paint. His defense isn't good, but offensively, he is someone that you would want to have on your team. He's a really good backup point guard, and I think he could be, I'm not saying a quality starter, but I think he could be a borderline all-star in this league if you just give him the chance to lead the team. Next, you have Damien Lee, who's a very good shooter, someone who can hit the mid range, someone who can hit the three. He needs to get better at just finishing inside, in my opinion, and then also he needs to get better just being an on-ball defender. I think that's what's the Warriors' weaknesses. I think they have a lack of on-ball defensive guys, and when they lost Klay Thompson, who would bail them out when it came to on-ball defense, I think they're prone to get exposed this year without Klay. Now, and then last but not least, you got Kevon Looney, who is a solid backup center, someone who's helped the Golden State Warriors in the finals in years past, and he's a energy guy. Gets rebounds, gets some putback dunks, gets some blocks, and that's all you can ask in it from an energy guy center. Really good center, being a backup. Now next not for the Golden State Warriors, but next for the Milwaukee Bucks, you have Jrue Holiday. Very good point guard. I'm not saying he's gonna make the All-Star team anymore, but in years past he could have been an All-Star, but he unfortunately just couldn't take that next step. But other than that, I think he's a very good offensive player. He could play some defense, and yeah, this was a really good signing by the Bucks. He provides more scoring in my mind than Eric Bledsoe. Next, you got Dante DiVincenzo, who can hit the three. He is a very pretty good on-ball defender. Someone who can hit the mid-range jumper and finish inside. He's a very good shooting guard, and I think he could be a quality starter in this league if you just give him the chance as well. Now, next you got Chris Middleton. Now, Chris Middleton, very good basketball player. He's an all-star and everything like that, but he's not a superstar. And many people are are questioning whether Giannis Antetokounmpo can win with Chris Middleton as his Robin, as composed, Batman and Robin. So, there was Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen, Batman, Robin. There was LeBron and AD, Batman, Robin. That's pretty hard to say, but, I'm not even going to go off topic there. But, these are just good duos in the NBA. Like, the Batman would not win without his Robin. And, yeah. But with Chris Middleton, although he's a really good basketball player, he's shown to have some inconsistency in the playoffs. Like, there's games where he would have a 35-point game. Had a really good game, hit the three ball very well and everything like that. But then there's this other game where he has like 8 points and, on 2 of 14 shooting. Chris Middleton, if he just gets more consistent when it comes to being like a second guy, then I think the Bucks would win more games. And I think the Bucks, I believe this is make or break for Chris Middleton, because if he proves that he's still inconsistent, then I think he's getting traded next summer. That's in my opinion. I don't hate on Chris Middleton, but he has not proven to me that he can be the Robin next to Batman, which is Giannis Antetokounmpo. And then speaking of Giannis, that's my next player. Giannis. What do I got to say about him? Giannis Antetokounmpo, he can finish at the rim, hit the occasional mid-range jumper, hit the occasional three-point jumper. But if he gets those two jumpers consistent to where he's, above average, then he could be borderline unstoppable. Because, think about it, he's very lanky, he's 6'11", and he's very versatile. Very good defender. He's the reigning defensive player of the year, the reigning MVP. There's not much more I can ask for except a championship ring from him from now on. Because I'm saying if the Bucks don't at least make it to the finals this year, then people are going to start looking at him in a negative way. Like, oh yeah, good regular season player, but he cannot make the big leap. He cannot go to the finals, or he can't win the big one. Like, I'm afraid if he doesn't win a championship, people are going to look at him like a Charles Barkley or something. Good player, but he just could not win at all. Like, he just couldn't win the big one. But I just want him to succeed. Next, you got Brook Lopez, someone who can shoot the ball, someone who is he's not a really good rebounder, but he can finish at the rim. But if he just improves at his rebounding, I think that gives less stress on Giannis, because Brook Lopez, there'll be games where it's like he doesn't play for rebounding. Like, there'll be games where he'd be getting 0 rebounds. Like, he's not a very consistent rebounder, and he's just been a bad rebounder all his career. Next, you have DJ Augustine, who is very solid backup point guard. He can hit the three ball. He can set up his teammates. Can finish at the rim. Just a very, very solid combo point guard. Someone who can set up his teammates and someone who can score. That's all I can ask from DJ Augustine. Now, although he's not a good defender, he provides offense. And, this was also another good signing by the Milwaukee Bucks. Next, you got Pat Connaughton, who is a very good shooter. Well, not very good shooter, excuse me. He's a high flyer. He can hit the three ball occasionally, but it's not consistent enough. But other than that, his defense is pretty good. He can pretty much fly out the gym. He is someone who's very good. But I believe if he gets more minutes, he could actually become a pretty good starter, and then eventually become an all-star in this league. Then next you got Bobby Portis. He is mainly a stretch big. I really can't rely on him to finish at the rim without him being tentative around other defenders. But other than that, he's just a stretch big. He doesn't really play a lot of defense. But when it comes to shooting, Bobby Portis is your guy. And then last but not least, you got DJ Wilson. He can very athletic big man. He's a he plays power forward, plays center, but he gets rebounds, gets points. He can play some solid defense. His solid defense isn't consistent, but I believe with more consistent defense and just more improvement on the offensive side of the ball, I think if he expands his game to like a mid range or 3-point jumper, then I think he could I think he could be a really good player in this league. Now for my final score prediction, I say the Milwaukee Bucks, they beat the Warriors by a score of 114-102. The Warriors are down. The Warriors are down without their two best defenders, and it's gonna be a long season for the Warriors. If say if nobody else steps up except Steph Curry, it's gonna be a very long season for the Golden State Warriors. And now that concludes. But concluding my video, I would like for you guys to leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And I will see you guys later for my next Christmas installment of NBA Christmas.